And I think over this whole Corona, this is where it separates the well-run sports organizations from the not well-run. The NBA has set out a very good plan. The NFL has done a very good job. The MLB has come out, has said nothing. Their players are saying nothing. So maybe stop paying your players $500 million for a one-year contract, and let's figure out how to make MLB better. Now that the MLB has gotten the extremely wise words of Mr. Jacob Courtwright, I'm going to switch over to the phone lines and introduce you all to one of my very good friends. We're going to talk a little NBA here, so let's go ahead and bring him on the show. He is a basketball star at St. Leo University, turned musical entrepreneur, musician, singer, songwriter, one of my very good friends, Mr. Yalen Reed. Yalen, welcome on to the podcast today.
What's up, man? Appreciate the invite, man. But yeah, I see you doing good for this your podcast, man. I appreciate everything, man. For real.
Hey,
Much
man,
love.
it is, the honor is all mine. We have been good friends for a long time now. So happy to get you on here.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of big things going on in your life, but first and foremost, the people want to know a little bit about your basketball knowledge. So we're going to go straight into your top 10 NBA players playing in the league today. For those of you who know, on the locker room, we've been doing this for the last couple of weeks, and I will admit, so far, my list is undefeated, although Mantis came close with Reggie Jackson and J.R. Smith topping his list as his all-time players right now. So it's been close. But I'm going to go ahead and you run down your 1 through 10 top 10 NBA players. We're going to talk a little NBA playoffs, and then we're going to get your count for who you think is going to walk away with the trophy this year. So starting off, who do you have as your top 10 NBA players, Yalen?
All right, so I got LeBron.
Okay.
I got Giannis, Anthony Davis, Damian Lillard, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Stephen. Then I got Kyrie, and I got Kevin Durant.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, my list might be shown for its faults today. That is actually a very good list. So what I did, for those of you who know, I go the very standard safe route. Although there was a couple here and there. I had LeBron number 1. I had Giannis number 2. If Kevin Durant is healthy, Kevin Durant slides into that 2 spot for me, and then Giannis would go 3rd, and then so on. But I took injuries into account, so right now Kevin Durant's out. I also had Klay Thompson off this list because of injury as well. But I went LeBron, Giannis, Kawhi, even though I don't believe Kawhi Leonard's a top 3 player. I think –
Wait a minute. We're going to have to talk about that. All right. Keep going.
So when we'll come back to that because I actually just had this conversation with one of my buddies. So I ended up with Kawhi at number 3. James Harden was my 4. Anthony Davis rounded out my 5. Steph Curry my 6th. Damian Lillard my 7th. I had Joel Embiid up at 8 when he's healthy at least. I had Nikola Jokic right off at the 9. Paul George rounded out my 10. And then my plus 2 were Russell Westbrook at 11 and then Luka Doncic at 12. We put injuries into account and we take those away. Kevin Durant would become my 2nd, and then Giannis would be my 3rd. Damian Lillard would hop up to 6, and everybody would kind of move over, and then Klay Thompson would be in place of Nikola Jokic. So my list kind of varies based on injury-wise. But back to your point with Kawhi Leonard not being a top 3 player in the NBA. So here's the way I see it, and I'm more of an old-school thinker when it comes to this. If you're not playing 32% of the games, I can't put you in my top 5 in my mind. I put them on paper because, most people, if they looked at my list and I had Kawhi Leonard back at 9 or 10, I think they would look at me like I'm a little bit crazy. But when it comes down to it, I'm more of you have to show me what's going on in the court. And I don't think it's fair that players like LeBron, Giannis, James Harden, Curry, Damian Lillard, if they're healthy, they're on the court every single time. That's where Kawhi Leonard's in that weird bubble for me, where I like him as a player. It bothers me that he takes so many days off. Luka, and I told this to a lot of other people as well. My young players like Luka, Trae Young, I want years of proven. There's been a lot of great players that have had a lot of good seasons via Bradley Beal this year. He's had an incredible year. before this year, would people consider him top 10? I don't think so. So I'm not somebody that just goes off of one good year. I want to see a little bit more body of work. I think Luka Doncic could honestly be probably top 2 or 3 best player in the league in the next couple of years. Luka's a very special player in my eyes. But that's kind of how I came to those conclusions when it comes to comes to that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I see what you're saying, man. But you gotta understand, man. The Claw is a different breed, man. I'm trying to tell you, he's a different breed, and man, when everything gets back started up, you know what I mean. I know people's gonna be able to see that because he's one of those people that without a doubt, man. He's in the gym working. He's a robot, man. That's all he knows.
He really is.
Work. You know what I mean? So he's not gonna
really
say anything about it. I just feel like, man. That's my favorite player in the league. I'm not even gonna.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's my favorite player. I mean, LeBron used to be, you know, when I first started playing basketball, you know what I'm saying? You see LeBron, you just think, man, like, that's who I want to be. That's, you know what I mean? I want to mark my game after him. Yeah. But, man, after really studying, like getting to that point where you start studying players, man, Kawhi, really, man. He really has a game about him. It's so – because I play fundamental, but at the same time, I'm going to pick my areas where I can find the score, you know what I mean? And Kawhi, I feel like he's that perfect player where he's got the perfect grip. It's fundamental. He doesn't have to do too much. He has a perfect face-up game. His rip, just everything. His face and rip is beautiful. His first step is beautiful. You know what I mean? He has a nice shot to him. Real fundamental. Just, you know, AB. And it's, you know what I mean? Nothing too extra. And he's humble. He don't really have to say anything when he's out there. He just plays his game. You know what I mean? So
I agree on every single point you just made. Yeah. I'm a firm believer that to be considered the best player or a top 10 in the NBA, I've got to see defense. And that's something that I think the NBA has lost a little bit, is that defensive toughness. And that's what for so long, even though I hated Golden State because I was a LeBron guy, Draymond Green was, hey, I'm going to go out there and play hard defense, but I can also contribute on offense. That's why Paul George back in the day was one of my favorite players. He was going to D you up, but then at the same time, he could go get you 30 if he needed to.
He's going to go get you a buck,
100%.
Right.
And I completely agree with that. I do have one more. What do you think about Anthony Davis? Because I know you had him pretty high on your list.
Yeah, AD, man, he's changing the game for a lot of bigs right now. That's what he's doing. AD, man, he's athletic. What can he do? He's starting to get right on his handles a little bit. He's a freak athlete, man. I feel like if it was between him and Giannis, I gotta go with AD, to be honest.
Well, I think we saw a little bit of that when the Bucks played the Lakers the game before we went into this whole COVID situation. True. And you saw Anthony Davis kind of take Giannis out of the game. And here's the thing. If Giannis ever gets a consistent jump shot, Giannis could go down as one of the greatest to ever walk the earth. I mean, that's just plain fact.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Now, I did have James Harden pretty high on my list. I do get a lot of flack for that. And here's what my stance is on James Harden, because I know a lot of people I don't think James Harden necessarily performs well in the playoffs. He's had a track record of, when it comes to big moments, he's gone very cold, very quick. But if you look at James Harden throughout the regular season, that's kind of what I take this list off of anyways, is more regular season. If we go into the postseason, my list completely changes, because there's a lot of these guys that aren't in the postseason a lot of the time. So, but the way I see it is James Harden might go down as the third greatest scorer from his position we've ever seen. James Harden revolutionized the step back. James Harden, he single-handedly has put the Rockets on his back for the last 5-6 years. And if you see James Harden score, to me, it's a thing of magic. I think Kevin Durant will always be above him. But as far as shot creators, it goes Kyrie Irving in my eyes, Kevin Durant, and then James Harden. I mean, I don't, and that's in the history, because first off, Kyrie Irving, if he would stay healthy, Kyrie Irving is the most gifted guard I think we've ever seen as far as
Okay.
handles, shot, and the greatest finisher we've ever seen at the bucket.
Exactly,
Kevin Durant, if Kevin Durant would stay healthy and stop joining super teams, Kevin Durant could have gone down as top
Super
5 player. he could have gone down in my eyes as a top 5 player ever if he didn't go join Golden State, who had already broken records the year before. But James Harden, I don't think gets the love that he deserves. Now, he does have poor playoff performances. I will give everybody that. But as far as an individual player.
Yeah. That's the thing, man. When it's – my bad, I don't mean to – I'm just saying that's the thing, though. When it comes to getting down to that hardware, man, when it comes to winning, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Winning that medal, man, I feel like it's a certain grit that you have to have. You know what I mean? And I feel like when you're not bringing that to the table, man, people want to see you bring a championship, you know what I'm saying, to the city. They don't – like, for me, it's always been, okay, you playing consistent, how consistent you are, man. James Harden, he brings that to the table every night, night in, night out.
Yeah.
But I'm saying when it comes down to being a champion, man, it's a certain grit that it has to tap in. And I feel like when you put him before, man, you got to think about guys like Damian Lillard. You know what I mean? That's going to hit that step back.
I'm a big advocate for Damian. I love Damian Lillard.
You know what I mean?
100%.
That's going to hit that, you know what I mean, step back to take his team to the next round. You know what I mean? You got to think about players like that. So, for me, I mean, I don't got nothing against James Harden, man. He's so consistent with his play, when everything he does, man, it's so textbook. But the thing is, man, I got Damian Lillard over James Harden, man. I just got to put him up there.
See, and that was tough for me because I wanted to put Dame Lillard all the way up at 4, and I need to just start pulling my trigger and just putting, because I think Damian Lillard is one of the most underappreciated players in today's game. What he has done for the city of Portland, what he does on the court night in and night out. Damian Lillard is a stone cold killer on the court. I love Damian Lillard.
You got to think about it. He's been carrying his team too now for a long
time.
Oh, Portland,
100%.
He's been carrying them boys, man, and it's like it's been a long. I think he going. You see how he been playing during the regular season before all this stuff got started, man. He's been going crazy.
He was having a year. Absolutely.
I'm saying, so it's like, man, when you see that, it's like, man, I hate all this have to happen, but man, I'm thinking Dame before anything.
I completely can get on board
Dame
with that.
Dollar.
I can. Hey, his rapping skills are out of this world too.
Hey, you're an artist.
I'm not gonna lie.
I can relate to that. Yeah. You're an artist too.
I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard him rap, I mean, I kind of put my hands up and I was like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like this might be my favorite player in the NBA right now.
Man, for real, man. So Dame, I feel like me and him got a connection, but it's not even about that. I don't want to be biased, but I just feel like when it comes to that grit and when it get out, when it comes to winning them championships and how hungry you got to be, I feel like Dame brings that to the table, man. You see it in his face. It's like,
oh yeah,
a feel of determination, man. And that's what he brings to the table, and I respect it.
Well, and see, I think real quick, Klay Thompson, who I also left off this list, as far as a championship mindset, Klay Thompson is probably my second or third favorite player in the league right now. Yeah. I love everything that man does, and what he was doing before he got injured. You know, Kawhi. I don't think Kawhi walks away with the championship if you have a healthy Klay Thompson up in Golden State. Klay Thompson was having a series, and there was nothing they could do about it. So, I would love to have seen Kawhi Leonard have to go full strength up in Toronto against a full strength Golden State. That Golden State team, 10 years from now in 2K is going to go down as, it's going to be one of those legendary teams that you get to play with. Klay Thompson also goes up there for me as a top, could be in that potential top 5 if we include if we include the playoffs, because his playoff performances have been incredible.
True. Yeah. No, I agree with that, man. It's like, everything he was putting up at one point, man, it was falling for him. So and I like his game too, because he's not too flashy, man. He gets to his spots. If he sees a spot, if he sees the shot, he's gonna take it. You know what I mean? It's relentless. He don't really care. Hand up, whatever. If he sees it, he gonna take it. You know what I mean? And it's he's textbook with it as well, man. I've always looked up to that kind of play because I've never been the type that just feel comfortable. with just putting it on the floor, going, you know what I'm saying, in between the leg, doing everything, every dribble move to get to the rack. I've never been that player, you know what I mean? Some people like that.